I want to spread awareness around a topic today that I feel very strongly about. I've talked about this a few times on my channel, but I haven't gone into the depths of something that prevented me from getting proper help that I needed. Quite a few years ago, I was formed into the psych ward. This may be a little bit triggering for me to talk about for anybody watching, but there was a period of time where I was self-harming. And I didn't really go into the reason why I was self-harming, but I want to talk about it in this video. I want to spread some awareness around this because this is a skeptical channel, and I recently posted a video about how I have become an atheist. And what I'm going to talk about in this video is a big reason why I'm an atheist. I was putting out cigar butts on my arms. I might be able to zoom in on that, but I have some scars here to prove it. And the reason why I was doing this is I was engaging in these religious practices. And I want to talk about how religion can play a big role in having a manic episode or having hallucinations. I spent a lot of time in my life believing there was a spiritual battle going on around me. I've talked about this many times. I always believed in demonic spirits, and I thought that the only way to rid myself of this stuff was engaging in religious rituals, praying to God. And I totally neglected my mental health and didn't get the proper help I needed. And ultimately, I was formed. Now, I've seen a few people talk about this on this platform, and it helped me navigate through what I was going through. What ended up happening with me is I was suffering from what is called religious delusion. I was having these delusions that there was a divine being connecting with me, and it gave me a specific purpose on the earth, and that I was supposed to act out this purpose. Now, when you get formed because you're either a danger to yourself or a danger to other people. Now, in this specific scenario, I was a danger to myself because I was hurting myself. I was locked in the psych ward for about 8 days. I will make a video about my time in the psych ward, but in this video, I just want to talk about how religion prevented me from getting the help I needed. I had this deep belief that I was like a jinn, like a demon, like a spirit that was sent here to tell everybody that the Bible is wrong and that they're following the wrong God. And I was really reluctant to get any type of treatment. I was told before I was formed by family members and friends that I needed help, and I didn't want to listen to anyone because I was so strong in my conviction of the belief of this spiritual realm that I thought I needed to do whatever I could to act upon this revelation that I had. And after about 3 or 4 days in the psych ward and being put on Seroquel, I realized that I was being completely irrational. And this was part of the beginning of my undoing of my religious beliefs, my lack of belief in God. And you know, I posted this video about atheism and I had a lot of mixed emotions posting it because I thought people would attack me. I thought that some of my friends might see it, some of my religious friends might see it and be angry at me. But I don't really care about that right now. The thing that's the most important to me is that if somebody on the other end has a family member that's struggling right now or that they're struggling right now, I want them to know that somebody else has gone through something similar to them, and I want them to be able to get the help that they need. I see a lot of people try to say that mental health issues are demonic possession, and there are actual priests that go out and try to profit off of exorcising demons that aren't even there. People get hurt because of this. And I have a problem with this because there was a time where I deeply believed in this stuff and it prevented me from getting help. And my mental health degraded. It caused a lot of harm to my life. I lost everything. You know, I had my truck repossessed. I had to sell my place. I hurt myself. I psychologically affected my family. And it's taken a really long time to get to this point. Being free of all this religious belief and reading the Bible and realizing I can't get behind what's in the Bible and really pondering the universe and understanding that there's no good reason for me to believe in this wizard in the sky has really helped me. I don't have these irrational fears of being of a fallen nature, and that if I have an actual mental health issue, I'll go to a psychiatrist, I'll go to a therapist. I'll get out here in nature. Today I came out to film this video in this forest because it gives me a lot of peace and tranquility, and religion doesn't bring that for me. It makes things worse. I think it's a trigger for me at this point. I like to explore religion, but believing that there's this supernatural being and that there's all these supernatural characters around me that are waiting for me to make a mistake, that I'm supposed to be inherently guilty of being of a fallen nature, makes things worse for my mental health issues. So I would prefer to just not believe in this stuff anymore. I feel a calling to talk about this on my channel. As vulnerable as this makes me, I want people to know that there's better ways to get help. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not prescribing anything to you on the other end. I don't know what your symptom could be. I don't know what you're going through, but I definitely didn't get any answers in the Bible. I got my answers from therapy, medication. I took Seroquel, I took Devel-Pro-X, I cured my mania, and I have not had a manic episode in probably about 3 years now. One positive I will say about religion is I was a member of a certain religion as I came out of Christianity, and it promoted me to stay away from certain mind-altering substances, and that helped me a lot in my recovery. And that was very practical for me. It made me feel like I'd feel guilty if I did anything that would harm me, and it helped me abstain. But that was also along with therapy and psychiatry and medication. Another thing that I did, which I talk about on this channel, and sometimes it might seem like it's a little bit off topic, but this all encompasses why I've become this solitary skeptic that I am on this channel, is I started taking testosterone replacement therapy. Now that helped me a lot with a better sense of well-being, and now I am a lot more balanced in life. I know how to deal with certain things, and I have better coping mechanisms. Staying away from religion, staying away from this God that kind of terrifies me in many ways, has helped me stay on the straight and narrow. As outlandish as that might sound, a lot of people go towards religion when they go through issues, but when you have a mental health crisis, when you go through a couple of manic episodes, when you experience hallucinations, it's terrifying. And when you have a deep belief in spirituality and that there's demons and angels and all these dangerous beings around you that can take over your body and control you, you end up not basing your recovery in reality. And I know for some people, a lot of recovery is based in spirituality. I still have a spiritual nature to me. I still believe there's stuff that's out of our control, and it responds to you when you do the right things in life. Now, if that can be called God, I'm not really sure. I just don't believe that there's a personal being that's there to save me. I don't believe that somebody died for my sins 2,000 years ago. I think that's a very comfortable scapegoat for people. When they do bad things, they think they just believe in something and they're gonna have a comfortable place to go in the afterlife. That doesn't help me right now. That's not tangible for me. I like to learn coping mechanisms, and I like to promote that on this channel. I think it's very important. When you go through mental health crises, you need professional help. I really struggled with my mental health because I believed in all this stuff. And I'm a lot happier right now. I feel a lot more at peace knowing that I have practical skills to deal with this. In therapy, you learn how to talk to yourself properly. I learned about the inner child. I learned about gratitude. I learned about mindfulness. You know, when I started doing the TRT, my body started feeling like it was recovering faster. I got better sleep. I had more energy because of the thyroid. The Seroquel helped me even out my mood. If I didn't have all of these tools and I just relied on religion, I'd probably be homeless, or I could even be dead. If you're watching this video and you have a family member that is experiencing psychosis like I did, is having religious delusions, get them some professional help. Get out there and contact somebody. There are resources around us to get proper help. Especially in Canada, we have a lot of free resources here. You can go to the hospital, you can get in touch with a doctor. There's free therapy for 3 months in Canada. I've done it before when I was at a really low point. I didn't have money for therapy, and I did a 12-week therapy course, and it really helped me. I appreciate the people that have come on my channel and tried to preach to me. I think they're very well intended, but if you come on my channel and you try to preach to me that I gotta pray to Jesus, I've already done all of this stuff. It doesn't help me. It doesn't make my life better. It causes more problems for me. We don't need some external supernatural source in order for us to get better. We have science, we have coping mechanisms. And my exodus from religion, for lack of a better term, feels a lot more peaceful. And it's nice coming out here and being in the forest right now because I've been able to take the day off of work and just kind of come out here and just connect with myself. Meditation, breath work, all of these things are really valuable when it comes to dealing with mental health stuff. I've struggled with so many of these different things. Another issue I had that I didn't even know up until recently was I used to have religious OCD experiences. And this may sound really silly to someone watching the video, but there was times where I would have a really bad intrusive thought and I would just do the sign of the cross because I thought that would absolve that intrusive thought. I'd be running on the treadmill and I'd be doing the sign of the cross. And this is a mental health issue. This is an obsessive compulsive issue. I don't think I have obsessive compulsive disorder, but that is definitely a trait of being obsessive and compulsive. And to an outsider, you kind of look like you've lost your mind. And I have learned coping mechanisms on how to no longer act on these thoughts. It's a harmless thing, but it's something I used to do. And this is kind of like a second part to why I no longer believe in God. This is an elaboration on my last video. I really want people to know why I no longer believe in God. It's not practical for me anymore. If I had evidence of a God, I probably still wouldn't follow that God because I don't think an omnipotent, all-loving, all-knowing being like God that's perfect would want me to worship it anyways. I think it would see the goodness in my heart. And if we go into an afterlife, which is very possible, I would hope that God would be like, you know what, this guy just did the best that he could. And he worked through a lot of his issues and tried to right his wrongs, because that's what I think this is all about. And, I see a lot of people trying to say that atheism is about narcissism and is about not caring about the next person and that you're selfish. It's actually the total opposite. I believe in helping other people. I'm probably more compassionate now than I was when I was really religious. So that's my elaboration on why I've become an atheist. It's not just me reading the Bible. It's not just the lack of evidence. A lot of it has to do with the mental health issues I went through. That being said, there is actually no evidence that a God exists. I still have yet to see somebody being able to prove the existence of God. In the last video, people kept telling me they know there's a God. It's beyond a shadow of a doubt that they know there is a God and that it's undeniable. And that all I need to do is open my heart. My heart was open for almost 35 years, and that never happened for me. So either God doesn't love me or he doesn't exist. And if I need actual practical help, I will seek out things that actually help me and don't create more delusions and more anxiety for me. That's all I got for this video. If you'd like to talk about this in the comments, just try to keep it respectful. If you want to like and subscribe to this video, it helps me reach more people with the algorithm. And it helps me reach more people with this message. Have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening. See you in the next video. I'm out.